Are you Muslim?
I am.
Cool. We have a question here. Why do you believe in God?
Because there is no any other best explanation
Okay,
for
there's no best
our existence.
explanation. No God also is a good explanation, I think.
I don't think so.
Why?
Why you think it's not? It's a good explanation.
Because believers think that there must be an end, there must be a first cause, or there must be something without a cause. That's what believers think, right? And I say, okay,
Yeah.
if that's the case, then you don't need to search for an external cause for the universe. If something can exist without a cause, then maybe there's no cause for the universe. And why this is a good explanation, even better the explanation, you don't have to
Mhm.
add more steps in your assumption, because if we say universe doesn't have a cause, that's an assumption, okay? And either it's true or
Mhm.
false. But when you say, oh, the cause of the universe doesn't have a cause, that's another assumption. And you're assuming two things. You're assuming that the universe has a cause, and plus that cause, wait a second, it doesn't have a cause. Okay. That's more steps when it comes to explaining the reality or the existence. And
Mhm.
when we eliminate the excessive step, I believe it sounds
Mhm.
better, because you already believe something can exist without a cause. And then why you don't believe that the universe exists without a cause?
Because the universe is contingent.
You don't know that. Science doesn't prove that.
We know that everything in the universe is contingent.
In the universe,
Uh,
and the contingency in the universe is about the change, okay, not about existence. And the universe itself may not have a cause for energy, right?
no,
There's energy in the
but
universe. Like energy can change its form, like not entirely, but here energy can take in another form, and in another thing it's in different forms, okay? But there is energy. So
mhm.
like you can think this as the properties of God, like energy, like God
Mhm.
has different properties and energy has different
Yeah.
properties, but it's energy in the end. And energy, we cannot create energy, we cannot destroy energy, so it feels like it always exists.
Like if we say a universe is a necessary existence,
Mm-hmm.
then I think necessary existence cannot be destroyed or it cannot have any end.
Okay, like we don't have any evidence that the universe will have an end, and we don't have any evidence that energy can be destroyed. Like again, like there's this physical law that energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? So, and
Mhm.
it follows what you say. Yeah, it cannot be destroyed.
Okay. And what else? So you think, in other words, you're saying we should not jump to, we can consider universe as a first cause.
If there is such a thing, okay? Like, why I can't say, yeah, it sounds it's the best explanation or better explanation or good explanation. There, no, it's not enough for me to believe. Yeah, but if you believe that there must be a first cause, then I can say, yeah, then the universe can be the first cause. But there are people who
No,
don't believe in
because
first cause.
the universe cannot create itself, right?
Do you think God can create itself?
No,
Okay, so no one claims that the universe created
but
itself.
this is what you're saying.
I didn't say it. Like
If
no one said the universe created itself. No one said it.
so, what's your explanation?
Okay, what we learned from science, like all
Hmm.
matter energy was in a single point. I mean, there was
Right
the
here.
singularity, right? They call it singularity, and
Hmm.
energy or singularity started expanding. Then we have space time inside the singularity, and still it's the singularity for me. It's the universe. There's one universe that we observe, and again, like everything was dense. Just it was dense, okay? It was
Hmm.
tiny, let's say. Then it started expanding. So science cannot say there was nothing at all. before the Big Bang. They cannot even say before the Big Bang because time
Hmm.
starts with Big Bang. But again, that doesn't mean there's nothing at all. If
So
there was
there was
nothing,
something
if there was
for
nothing,
causing
if there
you.
was nothing, then how something can expand? And you
Right.
you believe that like things cannot come from nothing. And if you say, oh, there
Hmm.
was nothing and the universe came into existence, you contradict your own beliefs. You just said, oh, like it cannot create itself. Okay, cannot come from nothing is also one of the beliefs that believers have. But then they say, oh, wait a second, things cannot come from nothing, but God can create from nothing. Oh, wait a second, like you didn't prove God exists. But even if God exists, how you are just saying, oh, God can do that. You're not able to explain that. If things cannot come from nothing,
Yeah,
then
like how do
God
you
shouldn't
how
change
sorry
this
to
rule. Come again?
how do you explain the infinite regress
Don't
word?
explain it. It's unnecessary. I mean, no need to accept infinite regress. Let's say it's illogical. So what? It doesn't mean
Hmm.
your God is true. It doesn't mean there is one God. That's why infinite regress is not a problem for me.
No, what do you believe? Like,
I don't have a belief about, further than the singularities. I believe in the singularity and Big Bang, but
okay.
beyond that, I don't know anything and I don't have beliefs.
So, but aren't you an atheist?
Yes, I am an atheist, yeah.
So you believe there's not no God,
No, false.
uh,
No, false. No,
right?
no, that's not my position, okay?
Okay.
I'm an agnostic atheist just because I don't know God exists or
Ah,
not.
this. Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't believe in God because I don't see good
You
evidence
don't.
for God or compelling evidence for God. I'm not convinced a God exists. So I'm not a believer.
You're
That's why I
not.
call myself an
I
atheist.
understand. You don't claim knowledge of the non-existence of God.
I don't claim, yeah, I don't, I even don't have the belief that God doesn't exist. I don't have that belief also. God doesn't exist
Understand.
is a claim that, requires also evidence. You have to prove such a claim.
Right.
And I cannot
Mm-hmm.
prove. I mean, when it comes to some gods, I can say, hey, probably this God doesn't exist because there are contradictions in it. For example,
Mm-hmm.
Christian God, right?
Yeah.
They say the Christian God is all loving, but there's too
Mm-hmm.
much suffering here. Even babies, they die because of cancer. Children
Yeah.
die in wars or in agony. Like people
Mm.
die in terrible ways.
Yeah.
Animals died in terrible ways. So that's why, like, the existence of
Problem
an all
even.
loving God, yeah, problem of evil, tells that there is a logical problem here. I mean, look, it doesn't match
Mm.
with the claim. So
Yeah.
yeah, but in general, like some people believe that like there is a God and he's not intervening. Like, okay, and it doesn't have to be all loving. Okay, then it's unfalsifiable for me. I cannot disprove your God.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you believe, you're free to, try to prove your God. I cannot disprove it. I'm sorry.
I don't understand this term agnostic atheist.
Okay, simple.
It's,
Yeah, like I think you already reached there. Okay, it's like God exists as a knowledge claim, right?
right.
God exists, and God doesn't exist as also knowledge
Yeah.
claim.
Mm-hmm.
So God's existence is unknown to me. Okay, I don't know. Maybe there is a God. Okay, so let's suppose you
Mm-hmm.
believe in a God, and maybe it's true. Maybe there's a God, but I don't know whether this is true or false. Okay, this is
Yeah.
agnosticism, and there are
Mm-hmm.
the three type of agnosticism, by the way. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to explain because I don't want to make it
Mm-hmm.
complicated. But atheism is about belief or lack of belief. Atheist people believe that God doesn't exist, and this is called hard atheism. And there
Mm-hmm.
are atheists, they don't say, I believe there is no God. They say, I don't believe a God exists, so I don't have the belief.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference, not a huge difference, but there's a difference.
Yeah.
When you lack a belief, you don't have to prove. Well, I mean, if you don't have something, that means you don't have it. Like, Like
Yeah,
it's unnecessary to prove that there is no water in a cup when it's obvious when you're looking at it. Sure, you're
yeah.
not looking inside me when I say I don't have the belief. Maybe I'm lying to you, right?
Hmm.
But if you don't even trust in this level, then no need to have even a conversation. So at
Yeah,
least you have to accept my
right.
statements about my beliefs. When I say I don't have
Hmm.
that belief, I don't have that belief. Even if I'm lying, still you have to proceed like as if I'm
Hmm.
telling the truth if you want to have a
So
conversation.
you will think that there is no objective morality.
That's a tricky topic, but as a starter, yeah, like I don't say that they're objective morals.
So if you, so that's mean there are no morals
No, it doesn't mean there are no morals. I mean, moral rules,
because
they are fact. We have moral rules. Like we created a lot of rules, right?
no, but they are subjective to a person or a society,
They're
and the
subjective to
other
society
society.
or societies. Yeah.
Yeah, but that means there's no morals because
No, it
other
doesn't mean.
society might have other morals.
Okay,
So,
okay. Some traffic rules can be different from one country to another country.
hmm,
So can we say then, therefore, there are no traffic rules?
no,
Okay, you see. So you can't say that there are no moral rules if they're not the same in every country.
no, there are moral rules, but there is no if every person or
Uh-huh.
for example, if I have my subjective morality, it's not morality because
It's not
for the other
morality.
person, mhm, it's
Okay.
only it's only moral for me.
It's only moral
You know?
for, I mean, sure, you can have individual opinions about subjects, but here's the thing. When it becomes important, those rules become important when and they are accepted by many people, okay? So if you have your own rule against the society, most likely they're gonna say, just fuck off, man. Like these are our rules. You don't want to obey, there's a punishment, or you just leave the society. So it works like that. Sure, people have their own opinions, but it's about, making your rules accepted by other people. If you cannot do that, it will be an unimportant rule. It's just only you created and no one follows except you.
So if a society decides something that is moral,
Hmm.
and then it's moral.
Yeah, that's the case.
What if, for example, people give the example of Hitler.
Uh-huh. Yeah, what
They
about him?
Yeah, they decided as a whole society that is okay to unalive Jews.
Yeah, they were
So,
thinking like that, and other societies, they didn't like it. Like, as we agreed right earlier, you remember, not
mhm.
every country, accept the same rules. That there are differences, and it's
So that's why
because
there is no morality because
I will go back to the traffic rule example. So the
mm-hmm,
traffic rules in my country are different than your country. Therefore, there are no traffic rules is an illogical statement, right?
mm-hmm,
You can't
yeah,
say there are no traffic rules because our rules are different. So Hitler, they had different rules, and you had different rules.
mm-hmm.
That only means you guys have different rules. That's all. You can't say there are no rules. Okay? Yeah, just think that there are rules. Some
Okay,
rules
just
are
for example,
good for you, and the same rules can be
uh-huh.
bad for other people. Yeah.
Okay, another example. For example, the most of the people in this world they agree that there is a high being.
That's true. Yeah.
Does it make it right?
No, it doesn't make it right. It's a logical mistake.
How?
Because reality doesn't depend on the number of the people who believes in it. I will give you one example. In early
Mhm.
times, majority of the people they believed that Earth was flat. But now, we realized that that was not the case. So that's a good example. Tells that the number of the people who believe in something is not important, whether
It
it's
doesn't make
true
it
or
true.
false. Yeah, it doesn't make it true or it doesn't make it false.
Hmm. I have a question. How do you address for example, singularity and the expansion of universe? It had certain properties and, for example, power.
I can't explain why like the universe or singularity has its specific properties. I cannot explain it. I don't know that. But if you're a believer, you have the same problem. Your God has specific properties, and you can't explain why they exist. You can only say, oh, they're necessary. Then I can say the same thing for the universe.
No, you can. Okay, yeah, you addressed this point before. Thank you for your conversation,
Thanks for joining. Thank you.
addressing my points.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're cool.
Yeah, I need to go right now.
Take care. Have a good sleep.
Take care. Bye bye.